What's going on, guys? This is Berz here to talk to you today about the Tactical Tailor Padded 2-point sling. This is a sling that obviously is padded, as you can tell by the title and by the padding back here. It has some interesting variables to it, including a little bit of a bungee, so you get a little bit of a stretch there, and it also has the adjustability right here. So you have a lot going for it. It's around $30. For like a $30 price point, you're going to be really hard pressed to find an American-made sling that's better than this sling. Now, I've had it on my shotgun up until recently. I've been using it for about over a year now. I was going to switch out a sling on my AK, and I was going through the different slings I have, and I thought, you know what, I've never ran this Tactical Tailor padded 2-point sling on my AK. I like it because it doesn't have the buckle right here for the adjustment point on the front. You see a lot of them have buckles right there. After going through some reviews recently with some buckle designed slings, I thought to myself, you know what, well, this one doesn't have it. So I'm going to run that. That's why I switched out, because I don't care for that too terribly much, having the buckle right there. But as far as this one, you're going to get good construction. Obviously the sewing is top notch. The construction, the hardware that's used, they use plastic hardware throughout this. And they have some paracord right here. The stitching and hardware and soft goods that are used are top notch. As far as the operation goes, I have this up here. You have a nice thick piece of nylon right here. It's pretty much double thick. So you have that for your attachment point to your buttstock. And then down here you have a little bit thinner webbing that'll connect to the front of the gun wherever you want to connect it there. So the one thing this Tactical Tailor sling has that I really like, and a lot of companies are incorporating this into their slings nowadays, is this adjustment system right here. You pull it up, you're going to get an adjustment that's going to extend it. Pull it down, it goes ahead and tightens up that sling. The only downside to this one with this Tactical Tailor sling is, with this, once you pull, just the bare minimum it takes, you're going to start pulling this up, okay? Now, granted, when you're on patrol or you're moving with your weapon, you're probably going to have this extended anyhow, because you're at your most extended point, which is how you want to adjust this out. I have it adjusted a little bit further out. But you're not going to have that tightened up. You're only going to have it tightened up when you're not in, I guess, an active environment, if you will. So it's not going to be a huge problem, but that is something I see that they could improve on by finding just a little bit of a tighter hardware here that's used. I think they could tighten it up, but I haven't really had any problems with that at all, so I can't speak to it being a problem. Paracord used is top notch, just like all the other materials and hardware used on this Tactical Tailor sling. So this Tactical Tailor sling has this adjustment point right here, like I was talking about, and for around a $30 price point, this Tactical Tailor sling is definitely going to come in under a lot of the other slings on the market. One sling that comes to mind is the VTAC sling. This VTAC sling is the non-padded version. To get the padded version, you're going to have to spend a little bit more money, but this is definitely one of the what I would call staples in the sling business. They use metal hardware right here, and to get this to actually engage, you have to pull it back pretty far, because it actually has on it like little grips right here on the device that pulls it back, the little Alice pack clamps. So if we go ahead and what I'll do is I'll start from no tension whatsoever, and I'll pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, and now I finally get that. With the Tactical Tailor, what I was trying to say was it doesn't take much, and I'll try to demonstrate that here. You can see right here I have it, and I'll go ahead and you can see it already started moving. So that's one thing to take into consideration with Tactical Tailor sling, if I could say it right, Tactical Tailor sling. Is it a huge thing? No, I haven't really had a problem with it. Another sling on the market is the Magpul MS3 sling. It is a 2-point or 1-point sling. It's kind of a hybrid, if you will. You can kind of do both things with it. And this also has the adjustment point right here. So what you would do is, if you have this on, you would go ahead and put your thumb in here and push forward to loosen it up. And it's a great design. The only thing with this one is to actually tighten it back up. It's usually a pain in the ass, is what I've noticed. So that's why I don't like running it, because once I'm extended out and I'm trying to tighten this back up, it doesn't really work too well, because of, it is a tighter design. So if you're looking for something that has a lot of tension, I definitely recommend the Magpul MS3. And getting to a design that has a buckle, but is definitely comparable to the Tactical Tailor, is this SOE Gear 2-point sling. Now this has bungee as well, has a lot more bungee to it than a Tactical Tailor, and it's definitely a lot looser of a bungee than a Tactical Tailor. But as far as the actual operation of the release mechanism, if you will, they're very similar as far as the amount of tension it needs to be taken to actually, you know, loosen or tighten these up. So when you grab this SOE and you pull it tight, it takes the exact same amount. And as far as, you know, pushing down on this, again, doesn't take a whole lot to go ahead and release that. So the SOE 2-point sling and the Tactical Tailor are both very comparable in the when it comes to actually the sling operation and this little mechanism right here. Okay, with the Tactical Tailor being, you know, actually they're pretty much the same. As far as this slide operation, they're pretty much identical as far as how much tension it takes to loosen and tighten them. The one thing you won't get with Tactical Tailor is a huge amount of slack, which the SOE has, which I'm not a huge fan of. You're gonna get this nice little handle right here, which I actually would like to see kind of double layered, so that when you have gloves on, you have a nice hefty thing to grab onto. I'll go ahead and show that here. You know, when you have gloves on, you know, this single, you know, I like to see a handle. And you see that on the Vickers slings, where they actually have like a double layered nylon that's stitched real well, of course. You know, it's double layered. So when you have gloves on, you have something to grab. You know, this is a nice, I mean, this is a 1 layer design there. So, you know, finding that can be kind of difficult because it's going to bend and move. Whereas if you had 2 layers of nylon, you wouldn't have that problem as much, or if at all. So I would like to see them add, you know, 2 parts of nylon on the end here and kind of put them together kind of like a Vickers sling. Unless that's something that's patented, I don't know. As far as that part, I would like to see that added on there. And I would probably only add maybe $5, so you'd still be under the ballpark of what, you know, every other sling I've talked about here. So making those 2 changes, which are really small, and, you know, even without them, this is a great sling at $30, around $30. It's in that price point actually of some of the other ones on the market, like Specter Gear. Tactical Tailor is far and away above like Specter Gear, you know, quality. Tactical Tailor is at the top of the class when it comes to quality. As far as the design of this, you know, like I said, there's those 2 minor things, but operation of this is absolutely, you know, flawless. It works. I haven't had it fail. I haven't had anything break. And you know, the plastic used here is nice thick plastic on the hardware. Another thing this sling has as far as a feature goes is it actually has some bungee right here. And what this bungee does is allows you, if you're in a tight space, if you just need that extra 3-4 inches, what this gets you. I know a lot of us, because you could use a lot of, you know, an extra 3-4 inches. Maybe not, but just saying. But you know, if you need to get into, you're in a tight spot, you need that extra 3-4 inches of stretch, you know, it's going to do that. And it's not stretch that's going to be really easy to get. So it's not like you're going to be using your rifle and it's going to be like, it's going to be constantly going back and forth. It's a good tight bungee, so you're not going to have that, you know, extra pull unless you really need it. So I like that as well. So I think if you're looking for a great, you know, around $30 price point and made in USA kind of sling, it's going to kick ass and last forever, I definitely would recommend this Tactical Tailor Padded 2-point sling. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. If you guys have a Tactical Tailor Padded 2-point sling, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, or better yet, make a video response. And until next time, later. Oh, I can't talk. I can't talk. I just can't talk.